Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Serpents Open Fall. We are on day 2. I'm joined by Spiff once again. How are you doing?
Excited to see some more great games today. We got some really good ones lined up.
Absolutely. And I've been thinking about it this morning, and it's so crazy to me how we had a whole day of games yesterday, and we're down to 16 players, which is what we normally start with after a whole day of games. That's so crazy to me.
Yeah, that just means that we get more good ones today, though.
Yeah, for sure. So up first, we have the round of 16, obviously. I mean, yeah, if you can count. And we have a couple of awesome games lined up. Unfortunately, we can only pick one because of our schedule today. We are going to be casting one game from round of 16, one game from the semifinals, both of the semifinal matches, and then, of course, the grand final. So that is very exciting, as I realize that actually my overlays haven't been working right. So let me actually fix that. As I ask Spiff what match he's mostly... I mean, we're casting Iron versus Osmos, but if there's any other matches that stand out to you.
Honestly, that's the one that I'm really looking forward to. We did see Amayoba come up with some really good strats yesterday, so I'd like to see how he manages to fare against Rainbows. Really, though, I think the one to look forward to is going to be the grand final, because we've got a lot of good players here who are going to be duking it out for the top spot.
Yeah, for sure. There's, obviously our top 4 seeds, which have been, separated from the rest of the pack, who have been dominating throughout the year, winning at least one tournament this year. And then, of course, we have our duo that is following them, which is Osmos and Fortuna, which are pretty great players, but are pretty guaranteed. Well, Fortuna is guaranteed to qualify for the Invitational, and Osmos is his bracket is looking very good for that. However, Iron Commander can actually put a stop to that and make things very complicated in this group. We talked about yesterday about Vanity, J-Wix, Rainbows, and Soul Ripper. Of course, Soul Ripper wasn't able to make it out of his group. So Osmos has to make it pretty much as far as the other players, or as one of the other 3 players that I just mentioned, to guarantee that he qualifies by points, and then the other 3 will split that last spot for whoever goes the farthest in this tournament. So who do you think? I think we think that who do you think will win this match, I guess, is the better place to start between Osmos and Iron?
Oh man, it's so hard to say. Iron is always really strong with Cybran. Osmos has been putting in a really good show in the league, though. I think it's going to be a pretty close match, although from what I've been hearing, Iron is really strong right now. So Osmos, I think, is going to be facing an uphill battle.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, when I was making my predictions, not predictions, but the discussion yesterday about Osmos making it to the quarterfinals, I kind of just put him there because I thought his bracket was pretty simple, but actually accounting for Iron or Foxtremel, and that's actually a pretty difficult task to go through. And if he makes it to the semifinal, that's actually going to be pretty good. I think a great result. But getting there, I think, is going to be pretty hard. So actually, this still, now that I think about it, this still makes us really uncertain of who indeed is going to go to the final. Because if he doesn't make it through, and Rainbows and Vanity, or Rainbows and Jaywicks both make it through to the quarterfinals, it could be Rainbows and Vanity that go up, or Rainbows and Jaywicks because they might have more points and they make it farther than Osmos in the tournament. So there's a couple of key games, and which is ultimately why yesterday I said we're going to cast Jaywicks versus Vanity, because that's obviously another important match for that. But actually, Osmos versus Iron is probably more important and also more exciting. Would you agree with that statement?
I don't know about more exciting, but probably more important in terms of who ends up getting that invite.
Yeah, for sure. So that is why we chose last minute, or I chose last minute, to do Osmos versus Iron. And yeah, that's what we're going to have up first. Of course, all the other matchups will be cast at a later point and uploaded to my YouTube, so be checking out that. If you're not yet subscribed to me, please do so. I've been getting so many people here in chat following me or subscribing to me. I don't remember what the term is for Twitch. But yeah, I've gotten like 15 likes or whatever yesterday. It was pretty impressive. So, but only one subscription on my YouTube. So go ahead and make sure to do that as well. And a shout out in the chat. Be a participant in the chat. I know I don't read it as much as I can because yesterday was just crazy. There were so many different matchups to update, and I actually overburdened myself yesterday. So it was kind of crazy times for me. But yeah, shout out in the chat who you think is going to win this match and in the tournament. And we are going to actually go ahead and set up the match now because we're only 5 minutes away. I'm going to put about, I'll say 10 minutes on the clock, and we'll be back in roughly that time with Osmos versus Iron Commander. More great games coming up your way later in the day. Of course, we got the quarterfinal, semifinal, and the grand final. So stick around for the whole time. We're going to have a giveaway later, and we're going to have some great casters join us as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Hello, everybody. I'm really hoping the game pops up here. There we go. Thank God. Welcome to the knockout stage of the Serpents Open Fall. We have our first game after that wonderful introduction. That was a whole mess. I apologize for that. I am joined by Spiff once again. Spiff, I'm going to pass it to you to introduce our first player.
All right, starting over here on the left-hand side, spawning in is the green Cybran. We have none other than Iron Commander, and he has started off with his first 4 eco, and he is dropping down 3 very quick land factories here. And Nite, what do we have on the other side of the map?
On the other side of the map, we already have a scout crossing the map from our red Aeon player with the name of Osmos. He's starting off with 1 air factory and looks like plopping down a quick land factory to follow that up. Scouting very quickly those 3. Well, actually, he might have only seen 2, but he's going to come back for another scout and see that 3rd factory. And looks like he's going to try and get some air control, or at least air radar coverage here pretty quickly.
He probably could have guessed just based on placement that there was going to be another factory going down there.
Yeah, that's true. So how do you feel about air openings on this map, Spiff?
Well, I've seen them work, and I've seen them fail really hard. It is kind of a risk because you are giving up that early ground control when the rush distance is so short. And as we see, Iron Commander is already popping out adapters.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say.
I'm not sure it's the best move against a Cybran who knows what they're doing.
However, if you do manage to hold off here, this initial push, I think that you are a little bit more obviously well off because you have that air and you can harass more of those spawns around the map, which on this map is very, very hard to defend against air when you don't have air yourself.
That is true. I do like that Osmos has shut off the air factory for now, and we also see Shotras coming out on the field, so those will tear through the adapter shields pretty quickly, but I think he's going to need a few more if he wants to actually do damage once the shields are down.
Yeah, and just as a reminder to everybody watching, of course, there's a lot on the line in this match. Osmos, more so for Osmos, because Iron has already qualified for that invitational tournament. Osmos really needs to win here to sort of not guarantee, but have a very good chance of progressing to the or qualifying for the invitational. And it looks like Iron is going to not back off, but at least reroute. Well, actually, no, he turns around his ACU. Going to take that expansion to the north of the map.
Yeah, and I really like his adapter splits here. Leaving a few in the center, sending a couple with that engineer, sending one back to defend the mass extractor in the back.
Yeah, and I really like that he stopped expanding to the back as well. That's very nice. And just sending a singular adapter. It's probably will die against those 3 planes. But actually, I don't even know. I don't know how many planes you need to kill an adapter.
Well, they're not focused firing on it either way, so...
So I think the adapter is going to have a nice time, especially supported by that second adapter there. And I'm growing a little bit concerned about this push from Iron Commander with all these Shajas. Shajas are definitely very, very strong units.
Very good defensively.
Yes, and without Brackman, I think that Iron is going to have a difficult time. His commander is just standing there, not really doing anything, and that is a very dangerous amount of Shajas there.
It sure is. I'm not sure why he's stalled out on his push like this. Maybe I don't know if he's seen those Shajas yet. I don't think he could have.
I don't think he's seen the Shajas, but he definitely sees land units on his radars, and I'm afraid that he just thinks they're tanks because he's just not making anything other than loyalists at this point, which is very surprising. Usually Iron has an interesting mix.
We do see some Brackman coming out.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's, I think, a little bit better ultimately. If Osmos is able to focus them down, however, of course, that's going to be very difficult. And I like what Iron is doing here. He's sending just one bot to see what these units are. I think it's very valid to suspect Shajas here. And it looks like he is suspecting it. He's just kind of like trying to micro around it, seeing if there's a long shot. Yeah, there we go. Now he knows. Now he knows. Yeah, and turns around that other loyalist. Yeah, beautifully done. I like that. Okay, so it looks like he's just gonna bait the shots from the Shajas with his commander, or not. They're just dancing around each other now. I do like the expansion much more from Iron Commander, however. He is set up for the long game, and it kind of turned around. I thought Iron was going to be the aggressor here, and it's turning out that Osmos is actually going to be the aggressor here. I don't like this split from Iron Commander, though. And PD.
I don't know what he's thinking there, because he's not really trying to flank. Oh, there it is. There's the flank.
How do you feel about that, actually?
I think it's okay. He's not really too committed to it. Now he's backing off. I think it's really just kind of a poke to see if Osmos is going to pay attention there and let him through.
And that point defense coming online, Iron will now see that. Most likely will not push into that. That is a death trap for his units here.
He's definitely going to need Cobras.
And if you're Iron right now, I mean, yeah, you definitely do need Cobras, but what is your long-term play? What are you thinking here, Spiff?
It looks to me like he just wants to get units into the back and do some harassment. And do whatever he can to keep his opponent off guard while he techs up to something that can actually kill Osmos and destroy his army.
Yeah, I think, I mean, megaliths are always a a stable choice, but not the best choice in a lot of cases. I actually think jump jets with unit detonate would be pretty good here against these Shajas.
Yeah, the bot spam and jump jets, because Shajas are so slow. There are tanks on the field now too, but just they're still, until you get teleport, they're not going to be very good at responding to jump jets.
Yeah, and Osmos is resuming his air production here.
And meanwhile, Iron is just tripling down on land.
Yeah, that is a lot of land factories coming down. He is now 2 up on Osmos here. And Osmos is continuing this PD creep. There's still no Cobras out on the field. And oh, man. Split push here. I don't know about this. This is going to be very dangerous here. That point defense does finish up. Interesting.
We don't see unit detonate just yet. But
no unit
is this
detonate.
A snipe?
But those Shajas are going down. Wow. Iron Commander has won this. Holy crap. That is a very decisive win.
And it looks like he's just deciding to stay there and kill the commander.
Yeah, that works.
He can do it.
Wow. I don't remember the last time. Well, actually, I do remember the last time it was so decisive against Shajas. It was during the Winters tournament, Little Row versus Alpha Hex, but that was just a pure commander snipe at that, or the Alpha Hex was attempting a commander snipe at that point. But this was the commander was actually tanking for Osmos, so I'm shocked that was such an easy win for Iron Commander here. But that is a very, very nice win for him. And this was Osmos's map pick, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, so we're going to go to Iron's pick, which I believe is Arctic Refuge, and we all know how good Iron can be, or Cybran in general can be, on Arctic Refuge. So it's going to be a tough ask for Osmos to come back out of this, but nevertheless, we will be right back in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our round of 16 match. This is map number 2 on Arctic Refuge. Mr. Spiff, take it away with the introductions.
All right, starting up here in the north side, spawning in as the blue Aeon Commander once again, we have Osmos, who's filling in his eco and going for a quick research station. Okay, interesting. What's going on the other side of the map?
On the other side of the map, it is our green Cybran Commander with the name of Iron Commander, as it happens to be. Starting off with the same build as he did last time, opening up with an air factory and a land factory here. And
same build as last time? Which last time?
On Powderhorn Mesa?
No, he started out with 3 land. Oh,
yeah, sorry, that was Osmos. My bad. I apologize. My head is somewhere else today. But Osmos is moving up and going to build 2 land factories, so nothing too crazy. I still think the research station is a bit crazy against Cybran on Arctic Refuge, but what do I know? I'm just a dumbass caster.
Unless he suspects that Iron is going air, because then he has more time to get a ground force up and squeeze that research station in first thing.
Well, Iron does scout this research station now.
And already sending his bots on flanking maneuvers here, so...
It's an Iron game. You're going to see that.
Yeah.
Single bot routing.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it last game because it never really came to anything, but Iron took that group of bots and a couple of adapters in the south and sent them on a huge flanking mission all the way around the map. They just didn't get there by the time the game ended.
Yeah, well, there was air from Osmos, so makes sense, I suppose. But this time around, I actually really like this build from Iron. I don't know if he's actually going to follow up on it like he does normally against... I was about to say ladder games, but they're not ladder games. They're just open lobby games. He usually pushes with his commander with that land push after he opens up air like this, which is a very interesting, a very powerful build, I think. But I don't know if it quite works against the players like Osmos, especially with 3 factories.
If nothing else, Iron is definitely making good use of his investment in air. He did manage to save all of his planes that went on that bombing run and take out the engineer, so pretty good.
Anti-air being researched on those Harvogs, and that bot is probably going to get that mass extractor. with
Yeah,
the
with the
help of
planes
planes.
joining in. Yeah.
Oof, but he might lose his no. Nice control there. Wow, probably not even gonna lose the bot there. Very nicely done. Looks like Iron Commander is not going to be pushing too high up, probably realizing that there's a triple land fact supported by a research station. He's going to just sit back tight and try to build up. He's putting down a radar. I think I saw 2 land factories queued up, so I'm expecting him to kind of not really press his Aeon opponent here, which might actually end up, biting him in the rear a little later on because of that research station.
I don't know. We'll see. So far, he's. The scores are really even. Iron's killing more stuff. Another land factory coming down from Osmos, so he's just really going for that land spam.
Yeah, and now Osmos is the one that's starting to harass a little bit here around the map. So fun to watch. 2 great players utilizing bots with 2 different factions and just harassing each other all over the map. Iron trying to get something done with his air, but because of all these bots with anti-air, it's kind of difficult to do. And that's actually, I feel like, a little bit of a disadvantage to Iron now because that air
he's pulled so much attention to the left side of the map, he could take his air around the bottom and bomb some of the mass extractors on the right-hand side of Osmos base.
That's true, but that's the job of the engineer, as we see.
Another land factory from Osmos.
I think he's gonna transition into the regular Aeon play here with teleport.
I'm sure we're gonna see teleport. Yeah.
This looks like a standard Aeon into teleport turtle. Well, actually, no, it's not because there's bots, so I'll take that back.
But I mean, it is the logical thing to get.
Absolutely.
In this circumstance.
I think in all circumstances.
But yeah, I mean, Aeon experimentals are just kind of lackluster.
All right, there's actually a lot of bots making their way towards Iron, but I think he should be fine here.
Yeah, with his commander to support
and
the
a point
army.
Defense.
Yeah.
Although
the question is he going to lose anything, like his radar or these energy generators?
That commander needs to start moving in front of the bots now. All right, instead the bots are going to go. Oh no. Bombing run coming in. No split from Osmos. That's not good. But not a very great bombing run from Iron targeting down those front. Yeah, but he targeted down the front bots that were already low health. Iron, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, picking off a mass extractor. Very nicely done.
I couldn't tell if that was a pick off or a control K, but either way, it denies that mining.
Yeah, for sure. And Iron is, again, just out-expanding his opponent while just playing so aggressively all over the map. It's so insane. Osmos actually just control Ks. Oh, man, what? Well, I think there was just a lot of bots in the back of the base. And this just upsets the whole thing. The whole, lineup that I had in my mind. Now I think, it depends on how the other players perform. But now Osmos might not even qualify anymore. That is bonkers. 2-0 Iron Commander. Did you predict this?
No, I thought, well, at least if it was going to be 2-0, I thought the games would be a little bit closer. But Iron showing that he has still got it here. Just harassing everywhere in that game.
That was incredible play, and just Osmos was made look very, very weak, which is very strange because he's definitely an amazing player. And I don't know why he controlled K there. I think it had to do with the bots in his flank, but still, I thought he was, doing all right. I think he just probably realized that he couldn't really do anything with his bots up front and didn't catch the flanking in time, which is weird because he had the radar. So I guess it's not Osmos's day, but Iron Commander continues his journey to the quarterfinals here, and his opponent will be either Fortuna or Jarek, which the game is happening right now. That was a very quick series, so we're probably going to put about 15 minutes on the clock. We're going to have a pregame or pre-match show for that next game, and we'll see who we're going to decide to cast. I'll take a moment to update the brackets as soon as those are available, and we'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.